Welcome back, everyone, to the Fall Guys podcast. So let's just get right into it. The first question today is Among Us still alive, and was it ever good? What's your opinion on this question? I have a pretty strong opinion on this one.
I want to hear your opinion.
Well, I quite honestly think the game was never good. Okay, I'm not going to talk about what just happened on Fall Guys, but I actually think the game was never good. I think it's got a good concept, but stuff like the visuals for a game that was that popular, I think there's just so many better games you could have been playing at the time. Though I will admit,
But you could say that about like Mario Kart. It's got mediocre visuals, but it's a good game.
yeah, but Mario Kart, first of all, I would disagree. I think Mario Kart's got pretty good visuals, and secondly, it's older. Among Us is like, I think it came out a while ago, but it peaked in popularity like 2022, was it, or 2021?
Yes.
Whereas, what other game? I think there's so many better games to play at the time. Like, Among Us was pretty much the game that took Fall Guys out of the equation. Well,
Yeah.
I think Fall Guys is the far superior game, to be honest.
I agree. I think Fall Guy Among Us is good, but only when you have like a pretty big group together.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Like, public lobbies are just so boring.
Yeah.
Especially since half the people just, when they don't get imposter, they just leave the game.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying.
And especially since they especially when the game peaked in popularity, they didn't update the game in ages.
Yeah. I think the first major update happened like over a year after it was popular with the airship.
Though I'm pretty sure that's because they were working on Among Us 2, and then they saw that the original got so much attention that they decided to scrap Among Us 2, which was probably a pretty
But they
big
could have
decision
at
for the
least
team.
put some of those features into the new game, the old game.
What do you mean, like just
And
copy
like,
paste it
was
in?
that an excuse?
Well, it's not an
If you do-
excuse.
But like Terraria, they worked on a second game, but they still pumped out other updates.
Wait,
And
really?
again,
What other
Among
game
Us
is
is very
Terraria?
simple.
Wait, is it like Terraria 2 they were working on, or just a completely different
They
franchise?
were working on this game called Terraria Otherworld.
Did they just scrap it, or are they still working on it?
Yeah, they scrapped it, and I'm glad. It looked pretty terrible. Now they're making an actual Among Us 2, but they're still gonna put out one final update for Terraria.
That's actually really cool. I did not know Among Us 2 was a thing. Aren't they working on like a book for the show that I saw on my Steam
Yeah.
page? What do you think about that?
I think that's pretty good marketing scheme.
But
Because, like,
carry on.
it's such a wide game with, like, a lot of lore behind it that I think you could put into a book.
But I think most people that will be buying the Terraria book are people that are already fans of the series. I don't really think it will bring in many new players, though. I might be completely wrong. We'll have
I
to wait
think
and see.
there might be new people learning about it from a book.
Yeah, but I mean, the game is already so popular. I think they should, now I'm hearing about it, I think they should probably just put all their effort into working on their new game, because that's what's gonna ultimately sell the most.
Yeah, but it's also pretty good for people waiting for Terraria 2, because it's gonna add a lot more, like, character to the franchise. Because we're gonna know
Honestly,
more about
I
the
agree
story
with
of
that. But how much development time are they gonna waste working on the book?
Not that much. I'm pretty sure they've got an entirely separate team with like writers and stuff, and
Okay, well that does make more sense then.
like there's gonna be a few artists. It's not gonna be that much time wasted because it's just a few artists.
I forgot, is Terraria an indie game?
I think it was classed as an indie game when it came out because there was one person working on it, but now I wouldn't say it's that indie.
Oh, well, we've not gonna qualify this round, let's just back out.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna Google this while we're going into the new game. Is Terraria...
I don't know if it is indie or not. I think it's indie.
Terraria will... these web
Yeah, it is
vendors
an
on here.
indie.
Oh yeah, this source says it's an indie game as well. That's really interesting, actually.
Yeah, because only one person was working on it at the start.
Minecraft's an indie game as well, isn't it?
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it's not anymore, though. Don't they have like a much
yeah,
bigger
no,
team?
that Microsoft owns it.
Oh yeah, Microsoft, obviously. So many companies have been selling their games, and then when a company does sell it, everyone starts to hate on them like Fall Guys. And then when a company doesn't sell their game, like Splitgate, everyone starts hating on them for not selling it. What do you think about
No,
like
I
smaller
don't.
indie games selling to bigger publishers?
I think Splitgate just didn't have enough content, and like I like Splitgate. It's just that you don't really have control over the modes you play, since you can like at the main screen you can choose what modes you want to play. But Fiesta is the best mode, but Fiesta also contains some of the bad modes.
I have no idea what Fiesta is, but I'll take your word for it. Well, I can't say I was too much of a fan of Splitgate, though I'm not. The whole shooter genre's kind of brushed over me since there's just so many of them.
Yeah, I like the shooter genre.
Yeah. I haven't played some of the main games in the shooter franchise, like Doom. I've never played a Doom game.
I personally
good?
don't like the newer Doom games.
What, as in the older ones are better, or you just don't like the franchise at all?
I do like some of the old ones. They were good for their time. I can respect that, but like, I just think the newer games aren't for me, really.
Yeah, well, I haven't played them, but for what it seems like, I was watching for a gameplay video, and like, all they're doing is constantly shooting. I haven't seen... I'm probably completely wrong since I've not played the game, but all it seems is just another blast zombies for an hour while not actually progressing.
No, there is a lot of progression. It's just I prefer Wolfenstein.
I mean, I have heard the lore is very good.
Yeah, the lore is very good.
I think lore is very overlooked in video games.
Yeah, lore should be one of the most important things when making a game.
It's what...
Or like,
It's
not
what
like
engages
a
you, I
game
think.
like Fall Guys,
Yeah,
but
obviously.
like,
My favourite games are ones that have really deep lore but don't shove it down your face.
yeah.
Like Hollow Knight, for example. It's got insanely deep lore, but it's only ever told you through dialogue boxes which you can skip. And short
Terraria has a
cutscenes.
ton of lore, but it's hard to find.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even know Terraria had a deep lore until you said about 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, it has a really deep lore.
What's it about? Like, what's the main sort of thing?
It's kinda coming off like Eldritch gods. Kind of. Like, in the beginning there were a ton of Eldritch gods, then the Moon Lord came down and created a clone of himself on this planet called Terraria, and a ton of other stuff happens.
Oh, so the
It's
actual
actually very
planet is called Terraria.
Yeah.
That's quite cool. Terraria sounds more of a human name than a planet name.
Really?
Yeah, I can see greeting someone and then saying their name's Terraria.
I can't.
I mean, I definitely can't see someone going around saying their name is Minecraft.
Yeah.
But
I think Minecraft's more of a human name than Terraria, honestly. Terraria isn't that much
Really?
of a human name. I just can't see someone being called Terraria.
I see it as Terraria is like, it's not made up of any currently existing words, whereas Minecraft is mining and crafting.
But it kind of is made up of existing words with like terrarium.
And terrain, actually. Terrain.
Yeah.
And
But it's mainly terrarium. I'm pretty sure it's called that because of terrarium. Because the world is basically just a terrarium.
Fair enough. And what next question do we have? This is a pretty vague one and very opinion related, but what is the worst Fall Guys skin? I think we both agree on this one.
Yeah,
You go first.
definitely. The platform one.
You mean the what? The platform one?
Forgot its name.
The long guy, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say the long guy or the scooter helmet, and we must let the viewers know why we hate the scooter helmets. I'll say the story. So essentially, I was playing a map. It was one of the ice maps. I don't know the name off the top of my head, but it was one of the ice maps. And the round starts, and then this guy with a scooter helmet, he just grabs me instantly, without second thought. And from that day forward, I have forever hated scooter heads. And then I just hate
I
long
also
guys because there's
hate
so many of them.
I also hate Ezio's, since it's a similar story to you
Yeah.
and that one. I was at the very end, and some Ezio just dragged me into the fan and killed me. And again, it's like a kind of very common,
I
because
mean,
it's the first reward you get if you have the
yeah.
pass royale.
I can understand why people would grab if it's like Hexagon or that one with the spinny beam. But why at the start of a race map? Because it doesn't benefit anyone. They're going to end up losing a few positions, and obviously you're going to end up losing a few positions. Anyway, next question is best and worst Fall Guys map. I think the worst one is fairly obvious, but I'd be interested to know what your favourite one is. So let's just start off with
I don't like the one with like the twisty platforms.
Yeah, I was going to say
think that's
Seesaw.
dumb and retarded. Yeah, Seesaw. Seesaw is by far the worst, like no question.
Yeah, and honestly, team modes as well. Especially
Yeah,
Jinx, because there's like a 50-50 chance you're going to get out and you don't have a big enough control over what side is going to win. It is a party game, so you can kind of forgive them for that. Whereas Seesaw is just straight up annoying. So I'm going Seesaw and Jinx as the worst maps in Fall Guys. So should we move on to the best map? What do you think? What do you think's the best map in Fall Guys?
Oh, I don't know.
For me, I think it's a simple answer, and I'm sure many people would share the same opinion, but it's got to be Hexagon. Oh no.
Yeah, I'd say. Oh.
See, that's what I mean. Like, I know I lost my tail, but one person on our team had a tail.
Yeah, that just is kind of unfair.
Not unfair, just annoying.
I was trying to get this one guy's tail, but he was just standing on a pole, and I couldn't get him.
Anyway, should we do one more game?
Yeah.
Anyway, what's your favourite map then?
Ooh.
There is so many, which I think is one of the best parts of this game.
I'd honestly say the lap race.
Really, I don't like that one.
I like it.
Which lap one? The neon one or the new one?
I think it's the new one.
Oh, I don't
Not
like
the neon one.
I definitely can't see that.
Or Hexagon.
Yeah, Hexagon. And I think Track Attack's up there. I think is the right name. Let me just check that.
Also, Slime Climb is good.
Oh yeah, Slime Climb's definitely up there. And what's the Slime Scraper? I think it's called. Yeah, Track Attack.
Yeah,
is the
Slime
right
Scraper.
I think lots of the neon maps are good. I think that was an overall good season, and
interesting. They're like very different to the other maps, so they're very
I think
interesting.
it's the unique
And I think
season.
that's what makes them really good.
With the hoverboard map as well is quite cool.
Which one?
The one where you're on like a hoverboard and then you got to jump over the obstacles.
Oh yeah.
And we've listed like half the maps that the game even has, but Season 5 had a lot of good maps.
Hmm.
But it also had a lot of bad
I
ones,
didn't really
like the
play in
Rhino
Season
one.
5.
I did not like the Rhino one.
I can't like the Rhino one, to be honest.
Well,
It's not that bad.
I think it's probably
Like,
bottom
yeah.
50% of all Fall Guys maps. But
I wouldn't go that far.
bottom 50% isn't bad though, that's just below average. I would say like, maybe,
I'd say it's in the 30% best.
really best. I'm talking about the survival one with the 3 rhinos.
Yeah, I know.
Fair enough. I think,
Oof, maybe 40% best. Pretty good. Not that
well, it's
amazing though.
definitely not bad. I was just googling the name of this one. Yeah, Jump Showdown is also, honestly, I'll go far as saying Jump Showdown is my favourite map.
Perfect match. Oh god.
Yeah, I think Jump Showdown is probably my favourite map because it requires lots of skill. There is skill to Jump Showdown, which you can't say for
Yeah,
lots of other maps in this game, unfortunately.
it's true.
I think what
A
they should
lot
do
of
is
games on this
in
are just
race
kind of
maps,
annoying.
everyone's like, you know, there's like, you can spawn at the front, you can spawn at the back. I think they should make everyone a ghost for like the first 10 seconds and then spawn everyone on the same bit. So there's no luck. Because you can definitely not qualify just because of where you spawned. Though that might be a bit extreme. Anyway, we're going to need to concentrate on this mode, because this is quite a hard one. Right.
Why would you need to concentrate when you can just get up in the middle?
Orange, grape, cherry. Orange, grape, cherry. Orange, grape, cherry, banana. Alright, I got it. Right, banana. Can you seriously just jump in the middle the whole time?
Yeah.
It's a bit risky, I might try it though. Oh, I can't be bothered to get up. Right, orange, cherry, apple. Orange, cherry, apple, grape, watermelon. Orange, cherry, apple, grape, watermelon. Orange, grape, apple, cherry, watermelon. Orange, grape, apple, cherry, watermelon. Orange, grape, apple. Okay. Oh, that is so annoying. I think we're still going to qualify. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Anyway, we've gone through all of our questions. Let's try find a new topic. I don't know. Random game. Forza Horizon 5, new DLC. What do you think about it?
I don't like it.
Don't like it.
It's got a good concept, it's just executed horribly. I hate the fact that you have to rank up just to use your cars on a new map.
I've only watched gameplay of it. From what I've seen, it just looks pretty sick.
If you can get to max rank, it's very fun. It's really, really fucking fun. But the problem is, if you can get to max rank, because the rank ups are kind of annoying to get, like, place first in 3 missions just to rank up for the first one.
Well, that does not sound too great. I'm just trying to find...
And then there's other missions, like there's multiple missions you need to complete. It's just kind of annoying.
How long does the DLC take to beat?
I don't know.
Well, for 20 quid, it does seem like a pretty decent deal, assuming the game was full price 60 quid. Would you say it, like, does it almost double the content of the original game, or nowhere near?
Nowhere near double the content of the original.
Really?
There is quite a bit of content, but there's nowhere near double.
Well, I might eventually get it for myself. Oh my god, this is scary. Do DLCs ever go on sale? I can't remember the last DLC that went on sale. Oh, next question, I just thought of one. The Cuphead DLC, have you played it?
Yeah.
That I've seen very good. positive feedback for that one. Do you like it as well?
Yeah, I really liked it.
I've just got the original game about a few weeks ago, and I'm not that far through. I just cleared the first area, and I have to
I
say it's
just
good.
100%ed the DLC.
Jeez.
It's very good. I like how it's like more lore filled than
Is
like
it?
the original game.
Well, there's a whole TV show on Cuphead which was quite decent. Though
I haven't watched the TV show.
it's very clearly got a younger target audience. But it is Cuphead, so I don't know what I was expecting. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
That was the first time I've seen it get that actually hard. Normally
Yeah,
that's like by far the easiest.
there's new variations on that map. It's much harder now.
But that was fun. I found it pretty easy. Not as easy, as hard as the other map.
Yeah,
We
it's definitely that was fun difficult, not just difficult.
yeah, fun.
Have you played
Ooh,
the Kirby game, Kirby Forgotten Land?
No, I haven't.
It's honestly good, but I don't know what Nintendo has with pricing all their games at 60 quid. I have to say it kinda isn't worth the 60 quid, though it is still a very good game.
And what I don't understand about them are like the obsession with piracy. Like
Yeah,
they will send hitmen to your well, not that extreme, but they will.
obviously not that extreme.
Yeah,
And they've got
they
really
will.
strict copyright.
Yeah,
Like,
but like I mean, you can pirate like a 60-year-old game that you physically can't own anymore,
does
even if you tried your hardest, and they'd still.
it count as pirating if I downloaded an emulator and then emulated Breath of
Yeah.
the Wild for free? I've heard.
I mean, I emulate it.
Well, I have the game on Switch as well, but I wanted to emulate it just
Yeah.
to see what it feels like on 60 FPS. But
I just like playing on keyboard.
really, for Breath of the Wild,
Yeah.
fair enough. I play primarily controller, especially since I got a new keyboard, it's not a gaming keyboard, it's like a one that's meant to help you type faster.
I still find shooting games way easier on console.
Well, that's probably because of the like aim assist and stuff.
No,
Not because it's
not.
easier.
No, I just
Oh.
find it way easier. Like, not like to do anything with aim assist. Even in single player games, it just feels way easier to play. And I would know. I've been playing console since I was like 5.
Fair enough. I mean, back to the Breath of the Wild thing. I've been trying to emulate Wind Waker for quite a while now, and I haven't been able to get it to work for some reason. Have you played Wind Waker?
Yeah, I've played Wind Waker.
Wait, just before, should we run one more game back or end it here?
Yeah.
One more game? Okay.
Yeah.
The thing is with Wind Waker, I've heard it's the second best Zelda game like ever made.
I've heard it's the best. I don't really agree.
I think the best has to be Breath of the Wild just because of the graphical improvements alone.
Yeah.
One thing I hate about Breath of the Wild is the shrines. There's way too many. Sometimes they're a little bit repetitive.
So
Sorry?
I got every single Korok seed and it was just kind of grind, an annoying grind. It wasn't fun to do in the slightest.
For a game to have a good 100% like completion, I think you should be able to do it without looking at guides online.
Yeah.
I will not believe you if you've said you've 100%ed Zelda with no guides at all. It's just absolutely absurd.
But that's always been a thing about Zelda. It's basically impossible not to. It's always basically been impossible not to. Like, especially the first game. That's just 100% impossible. You're not going to figure out anything
Are you talking
in the
about
first game without a guide.
Are you talking about Ocarina of Time or like actually the first Zelda game?
Yeah, actually the first game.
I've played, I think it's called Link to the Past on Nintendo Switch Online. But other than that, I've only played Breath of the Wild and a bit of Skyward Sword, actually. Which probably doesn't make me the right person to say Breath of the Wild's the best game in the franchise, but I can't imagine any of them being better, to be honest.
I've played. I think there's only one I haven't played.
Really?
I forgot which one it was. Oh yeah, Spirit Conductor. Well, I've played it, but I got very bored of it. But Spirit Conductor is the only one I haven't finished
Spirit
or
Conductor,
even
I've
really
never heard.
played that.
I've only heard of Spirit Tracks, I think is the name.
Oh yeah, Spirit Tracks. I meant.
Is that a 2D one? I think it's a 2D one.
No, it's 3D.
Spirit Tracks, really?
Yeah.
Let me Google it.
Oh my god.
The Legend of Zelda Spirit Tracks. Well, it's definitely 3D. Fair enough. Did not know it was 3D. What do you think is your top 3 favorite Zelda games since you've played so many?
Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Wind Waker is probably my third favorite, and I'd say what is it? I'd honestly say Majora's Mask.
I've heard so many good things about Majora's Mask. Apparently it's much better than Ocarina.
Yeah,
Is it longer?
I think so. Yeah.
Well, on the topic of Nintendo games, I gotta ask this question. Breath of the Wild or Mario Odyssey?
Breath of the Wild. They're each very good, but I'd say Breath of the Wild.
I've played both, and they're some of my favourite games of all time, which will be my next question. But, like, last year I would have said Breath of the Wild's better, and about a few months ago I would have said Mario Odyssey's better, and now I'm leaning more towards Breath of the Wild. Why are we out? Anyway, let's run one more back, one more. But yeah, right now I think I'm on the side of Breath of the Wild, but they are both exceptionally good games.
Yeah. I've never said Mario is better than Zelda, but I can see why people would say that Mario is better. I just prefer the open worldness of Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, but would a Mario open world game really work?
I think it could.
Yeah, saying
Like-
that, I think a Mario open world game would be quite
Yeah.
cool.
Like the DLC for Mario Odyssey.
There's not DLC for Mario Odyssey, is there?
Yeah?
Wait, what?
Oh wait, no,
way.
is it?
I don't think there is.
Or am I thinking about the other game? No, I'm thinking about the re-release of another Mario game.
Yeah, there's no DLC for Mario Odyssey.
I'm thinking about the DLC for that Wii U game that was re-released on Switch. That got a DLC.
Well, there's been some leaks saying that there's going to be a Mario Odyssey 2, which I'm quite hopeful for.
I don't see why there wouldn't be.
Since Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey are kind of the two staple games for the Switch, and they're making a Breath of the Wild 2, I think making Mario Odyssey 2 would probably be not unlikely.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was gonna ask you, but I forgot. What is your top 3 favorite games of all time? I'm gonna put you on the spot.
I'd say... Fallout 4. Just, like, or are we allowing, like, because of mods?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, Fallout 4 because of mods.
Oh no.
I honestly don't know.
I've got my top 3 pretty, like, guaranteed, but I'm not sure about my top 1.
I'm guessing yours is, like...
Top 4, actually. I don't know what to cut out of top 3.
I can guess what at least one of your. I'm guessing like yours is like Fall Guys. Um.
You'd be surprised to hear Fall Guys is nowhere to be seen in my top 4.
Oh.
All of them are single player games because I have no friends.
I don't understand. I've seen people hating on single player games because multiplayer games are so much better. Single player games are better.
I just think single player games are better. Well, whenever you feel like it, just depends what mood you're in, doesn't it?
I mean, single player games you can pack a lot more content into.
Yeah, it just depends if you're in the mood for being hammered by some ultra nerd that hasn't got off the game since the 1900s.
Yeah.
Though, my top 3 games, top 4 actually, I'll try to decide on top 3 soon. In no specific order: Mario Odyssey, Breath of the Wild, Hollow Knight, and Ori and the Will of the Wisps are definitely my top 4. Right now, my top 1 is Hollow Knight or Ori. I think Ori's such a good game. I don't know if you've played it yet, have you?
I haven't played it, but.
I mean, the first
I
one...
know about him. I've seen gameplay of it.
Yeah, the first one's good, but I think Will of the Wisps is the far superior game in literally every way. And it's got one of the best soundtracks in any game. I also think soundtrack
What game do you
so
think is good, but like made 10,000 times other than like that Ori? What game do you think is good, but is made 10,000 times better than with the soundtrack?
is made better by the soundtrack, do you mean?
Like you have a really good game or a bad game, but it has a really good soundtrack. What game do you think has the best soundtrack?
I think the first Ori gets carried by the soundtrack. Not to say it's a bad game, but the gameplay is just not there, I don't think, in the Blind Forest. As much as it's one of my favourite games still.
I'm thinking of Terraria.
You think it gets carried by the soundtrack? I think it gets carried by the gameplay.
It's not completely carried. Like the gameplay is really good, but like the ambience of it.
Yeah,
I mean, the gameplay is really, really good in Terraria,
definitely.
but there's just so much grinding that I think
It's a survival game though, you can't expect it to not have grinding.
Yeah, but there's way more grinding than any other survival game.
Well, let's flip the question on its head. What game do you think is let down by the soundtrack? Not to say it's a bad game, but let down.
I don't know.
I'll bring one in. Breath of the Wild, I think the soundtrack is the #1 only bad thing about the game. Not actually bad, just not up to standard.
It's not as good as it could be, but it's not as bad as it should be.
What they have is amazing, but it's just there's just not enough of the soundtrack. Half the game is spent in just the sound of ambience.
I've got a good one. Balloon T6. It's a very good game, but it just doesn't have a good soundtrack. There's one good song in the entire game.
I mean, the soundtrack's not good. I wouldn't go as far to say it lets the game down.
No, I think the game would be so much better with like a really good soundtrack.
That's true. But every game, you could say that for pretty much every game.
Yeah. I'd say especially.
Fair enough, I mean. I also think Cuphead has a really, really good soundtrack.
Yeah.
It's got
That's like 90% soundtrack.
Yeah, it does such a good job of making it look like, is it 1930s or 1920s
Yeah.
art style? I think it's 1930s. But whatever one it is, they do such a good job at making it look like that's what they deliberately did. Which is, I mean, it's obviously the selling point of the game.
I would also say that about Fallout 4, because it's got such good like 1950s atmosphere, especially with the sound
I've
music.
genuinely not played a Fallout game apart from Shelter.
You really should. They're like honestly very fun.
I've been finding it so hard to get into games recently for some reason.
Yeah.
And I honestly
What I love
wouldn't be
about
surprised. Carry on.
Fallout 4 is just walking through a wasteland, like an obviously ravaged wasteland, just listening to like these songs from the 50s.
Yeah, I wasn't, well, I mean, obviously, I wasn't born in the 1950s, so I won't have nostalgia for it, but I can appreciate a good soundtrack.
Yeah.
I think soundtrack's probably top 3 for most important parts of the game,
Yeah, same.
just
Like,
behind
if you can have a good
gameplay.
game, but like not amazing if you don't have a great soundtrack to go along with the game.
Yeah. I mean, if a game has an awful soundtrack, it will be a bad game. But if a game has a good soundtrack, it won't automatically be a good game. Which is why I'm not saying it's
Is there enough?
completely important. Oh, come on, we need to get red out. Let's go! I've heard there's a pretty big new update for BTD6, like earlier today.
What's that?
Update 32, I think it was. I'm not sure if it's the Engineer Paragon update. I haven't looked into it in ages. I mean, I haven't.
There's
looked
nothing
into
on
it.
like the Steam page about it.
Let's see. BTD6 update 32. I just saw a video on my YouTube front page by Tooty. Let's see on Steam.
There is nothing on Steam.
Yeah, it doesn't need to update. I mean, who knows? Maybe they just gave it out to content creators.
Maybe.
Oh, I'm
But
actually so
BTD6 is too repetitive.
Well, that's probably because you have a pretty big time on the game.
I mean, only like 400 hours. I've seen people with like
Only.
thousands.
Yeah, I've got about 80 hours on the game, I think. I mean, it's definitely my favourite tower defense game. Though there's not many out there. I think that there's not many tower defense games, even though it's such a popular genre.
It's like a hard game to make, though. Well, not really.
It's a hard game to make good. It's not a hard game to make.
Yeah, a hard game to make good.
Probably because you can't have much variance in a tower defense.
Yeah.
Like, whereas in Battle Royale, you could have a party game like Fall Guys, or you could have a shooter game like Fortnite. But in the tower defense genre, it's always going to be towers shooting at the enemies.
Yeah.
Though I did make my own tower defense game, and the hook was
Yeah.
towers
played it.
shoot other towers, which I thought was quite an interesting hook. That adds an extra layer of strategy.
It's just kind of hard with a tower defense game to make a game that is different to other tower defense games.
Yeah, apart from art style and sound design, you can't really make them different. The gameplay is always going to be get to round X with this amount of money.
Yeah.
Now, that's not to say the genre's bad. There are a few different tower defense games I like. Oh, we're getting so lucky. Oh, you're getting so lucky. Look at this door. Knew it. Knew it. Nah, it's not this. It's the right. It's the one on the right. Knew it. Frick. Get me up, get me up, get me up. No. What? 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 How did we... Alright. Whatever.
You're doing so good at the start.
Yeah, I think we just went the complete wrong way. I think we recorded.
Yeah.
Anyway, should we wrap up the podcast there? It was quite a long one.
Yeah.
Should we be back? Should we try record a video tomorrow?
Yeah, I'd love...
We may be back
I
tomorrow.
don't know if I can.
Or we may be back the day after, or the day after. We'll see what we can do. Thank you guys for watching.
Yeah.
Goodbye.